Hey guys, so for the part 2, we're looking at the redeemable preference shares since we spoke about non-redeemable. So with the redeemable, you can repurchase them in future. That means they have a maturity period that the company needs to consider where our shareholders will no longer receive the dividends from us. So from this part, we are looking at how to calculate the redeemable preference shares, which is in this example, we are told that it has 9% redeemable preference shares in issue. The preference shares pay an annual dividend of 9 cents and currently trading at 1 rand 0.8 cent. The preference shares are redeemable at par in 5 years time. So that's the maturity period. So for us to calculate the cost of preference, we'll first take out the things that we need to note from the information given. So the first thing we need to note is that what is the future value, what is the PMT, what is the present value, and what is the which is we're currently looking for this one. This is our preference shares. It's the preference cost of capital. This is the preference cost. Then we have our N. So we are going to assume that let's say our future value is going to be 1. Let's just assume that. That's the assumption I make. Because in finance, there's a thing that they say, you just assume in calculating the redeemable that the future value is 1,000. But it also depends on the information given. Because if it's 1, in this case, our PMT is going to be the future, which is future times 0.09. And then we calculate our PMT, which is going to be 0.09. Let's see if it's 0.09, because I just want to be sure, times 0.09. No, yes, it's 0.09. That's our PMT. And then the present value we are given is 1.08, because they are saying that it's currently trading at 1.08. And then this is what we are looking for. And we have our N is 5 years. So we are going to use our financial calculator. So, as I've said, in cases where you see that the present value is big amount, like 1,000 rand, you can assume that the future value is going to be 1,000, because they do assume that it's 1,000. But in this case, we cannot assume that our future value is going to be 1,000, whereas our present value is 1 rand. So I'm just trying to make sense of the situation and get the answer. So we have our future value, which is 1. So that's our future value. Then we have our PMT is 0.090. That's our PMT. PMT is that amount, this is our PMT. Then our present value needs to be negative. That's our present value. And then our N is 5, and then we look for this one. So our cost of preference share in this case is 7.05%. So that's our cost of preference shares. I hope you guys understand this part. Remember, I did mention that for you to understand what is the preference shares, you just need to know that it gives the owners a higher claim to the company's assets and dividends. How? You can ask yourself that. Firstly, it gives shareholders dividends, that's a debt for a company, because company is obligated to give the shareholders dividends. Then second thing, and that needs to happen before they give the dividends to the common stock shareholders. The preference shares, they get the vest preference. That's the word, preference shareholders. So take note of that. And then another thing is that the non-redeemable, they offer continuous dividends for non-redeemable. But for redeemable, there's a time where they be like, no, we cannot give dividends, which is in this case, in 5 years' time, they cannot do that. Then for non-maturity, it's only non-redeemable. There's no maturity date. Remember the formula we had initially, it was just dividends divided by price of preference shares. Then we get the cost of the preference shares. So you need to note those things for you to get this calculation right. If you have any questions around the redeemable and non-redeemable preference shares, or anything you would like to add for others to get, kindly do that on the comment section. Thank you so much.